Hi everyone, this is Samantha Nelson with Business 343 at Liberty University, and this is my final presentation project. For this, I decided to examine case 1, is an adoptive mother entitled to maternity leave? In this, I will be playing the role of a legal counsel for AFS CME for Carol Fern. Some main points that I will be hitting in this is that Carol Fern's request to have a 6-month maternity leave was rejected. Carol was given 2 successive 90-day reasonable purpose leaves. The Bainbridge Borough Council violated the collective bargaining agreement. The Bainbridge Borough Council did not violate the Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA. Maternity leave is important to being able to establish a good professional work life. Supporting my position of how Carol should be able to take the 6-month unpaid maternity leave. And I will also be discussing what a collective bargaining agreement is, the Family and Medical Leave Act, and how important maternity leave is. A little background on the case is when Carol, a tax clerk at Bainborough Bridge for 18 years, found out that she could not conceive, her and her husband decided to adopt. On April 22nd, they were told a 3-month-old baby girl was ready to be adopted. They decided to delay the adoption until May 2nd because April is a busy tax month for Carol. On the April 27th, Carol requested 2 weeks of paid vacation for May 2nd through May 17th, and that was approved. The day she was to return to work, she requested the 6th month of unpaid maternity leave, which was rejected by the Bainbridge Borough Council. The Local 10 AFS-CME believes that the Bainbridge Borough is in violation to their collective bargaining agreement. What was offered and why it was not accepted? Bainborough offered Carol 2 successive 90-day reasonable purpose leaves. While that does end up being the amount of time that Carol ended up requesting for her maternity leave, it does not acquire the same benefits as maternity leave would. With maternity leave, employers must continue health insurance coverage. That is under the FMLA. Once returning from maternity leave, employees must be restored to the same or equal job that they left with. As the legal counsel on this case, I have determined that Bainbridge Borough Council is in violation of the collective bargaining agreement when they rejected Carol's request for the 6-month leave. I will be presenting a case for Carol Fern's right to maternity leave. In the case, I will be discussing what a collective bargaining agreement is, the Family and Medical Leave Act, and how important maternity leave is for a mother. What is a collective bargaining agreement? A collective bargaining agreement is a written, legally enforceable contract for a specified period between the management of an organization and its employees, represented by an independent trade union. It sets down and defines conditions of employment, such as wages, working hours and conditions, overtime payments, holidays, vacations, and benefits, and procedures for dispute resolutions. This is also called a labor agreement, union agreement, or union contract. In Article 10 of this agreement, it states that all maternity leave that does not exceed 6 months is to be approved by employers. Under the FMLA, which is Family and Medical Leave Act, an employee is entitled to 12 work weeks of leave in a 12-month period for the birth of a child and to care for the newborn child within 1 year of birth. The placement with the employee of a child for adoption or foster care and to care for a newly placed child within 1 year of placement. Under the FMLA, employers are required to continue health insurance coverage as well as ensuring the employee will still have the same or identical job when they return to work. After reviewing the FMLA and the collective bargaining agreement, Carol Fern does meet the criteria of being able to take a maternity leave. Carol meets the requirements under the FMLA because she has worked for her employer for at least 12 months and has acquired at least 1,250 hours of service there within the 12 months. But why isn't maternity leave important for a mother? Carol is fighting for maternity leave because it is really important. The initial bond of a mother to their child is the most important thing for a mother to have. Carol is also fighting for maternity leave because having the protection of knowing your job will still be there would be less stressful on her. The FMLA's purpose is to provide parents time to bond with their newborn babies. Mothers who return to work later are reporting fewer symptoms of depression. Having the guarantee of maternity leave can reduce maternal stress during pregnancy. Even though Carol did not go through the pregnancy stages, she can still be stressed with being a new parent. My standpoint on this, I do believe that Carol should be able to take her maternity leave. She should stay at home with the baby to get acclimated to her and to bond with her because she did not have the bonding stages of pregnancy. Also, I think the baby is too little to be put into daycare. Most daycare facilities require newborns to be at least 6 weeks old. And I think Carol should be able to take the 6 months of unpaid maternity leave. I know some places of employment only allow 3 months, if you don't have a C-section, of course, of maternity leave. And if you want to take longer, you have to use your vacation hours. The United States does offer 12 weeks of unpaid leave under the FMLA, which was already discussed a little earlier. In conclusion, Carol Fern did need to seek legal counsel to be able to gain her right to maternity leave. Even though she had to fight for it, she is entitled to it. She is entitled to the leave thanks to the collective bargaining agreement and the Family Medical Leave Act of 1993. Thank you, and thank you for tuning in.